Welcome, everyone, to This Beautiful Life, the podcast where I interview just everyday, normal people and learn all about their lives and their experiences and their worldviews. This podcast is a practice in empathy. It is an exploration of the human condition. It is an attempt to counterbalance a social media narrative that has divided us into echo chambers and where listening to the other side is considered some sort of betrayal. Here, we listen. We learn, we have compassion and empathy, and we don't judge. In today's podcast, I would like to introduce you to Colleen. Colleen and I met at the farmer's market. I was selling produce from my garden, and she was selling soap and her really original crocheted creations. She very quickly hit it off with my youngest daughter, and they would sit crocheting together during the farmer's market. We really enjoyed each other's company. Colleen has spent most of her life struggling with mental health problems, and so much of this conversation revolves around difficulties with mental health, difficulties with finding help with mental health problems, and the long process of building up coping mechanisms for dealing with mental health problems. I hope you enjoy this conversation. And I would like to remind you that Colleen and I are both real people, so if you're going to comment on this podcast, try to make sure you're saying things that you would say straight to our faces if we were in front of you. And without further ado, I introduce you to Colleen. How long have you been making soap for?
Since 2021.
Oh, okay. So
So
it was a COVID hobby?
Yeah. So kind of what happened was I really like natural soap, and I was buying some from my friend's mom, and she stopped making soap.
Your supplier
during COVID.
quit.
So then I was like, I kind of looked it up and I go, oh, well, I can do that.
Yeah.
That's simple enough.
Yeah. Were you able to get her to sell you her supplies, or you had to buy them new, or?
No, I had to buy them new.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I bought the crock pots like secondhand
Yeah.
for like $5 or $10, kind of. So like that was pretty good.
Yeah. Where do you get the lye? Amazon?
Home hardware.
Really?
Mhm.
Ah, cool.
It's in the plumbing department.
In the plumbing department.
Yeah.
I needed to get I bought something that was cast iron, but somebody had painted it because they were an idiot. And apparently the best way to get it off is a lye bath,
Oh.
which I assume is just lye in water. Would that be a lye bath? I don't know.
I could see that.
Yeah. Think it would peel the paint off of something?
Definitely.
Yeah.
This is just green tea.
Oh, okay.
So this one's a little different than the one I did show you because it has the leaves in it.
Okay.
Just for nice exfoliation.
Oh, okay. How did you come up with your recipes? Did you invent them, or did you just try what someone else was doing and?
There was like a couple scents that I wanted to try on my own, but then I don't know. It's just like I find with anything, you're gonna have like a bit of like imposter syndrome.
Yeah, of course.
But like everything that you do create, like it is your own.
Yeah.
So yeah, just kind of some scents that I did kind of find that I liked,
Yeah.
and then yeah, just kind of went from there. Yeah, one of the ones I did start with was lemon and poppy seed, but that one turned out to be not super popular, so I don't even make that one anymore. Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head, but I think like my original few were mint and pine, and then patchouli, oatmeal, lavender, and lemon and poppy seed.
Cool.
Yeah, and then I used to get the lavender from Lavender Hives, but they sold their farm last year. Yeah.
So now you need a new lavender supplier?
Yeah, I think I do have one that's a little more local here. I forget what her name is.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool. So now you've got your your recipes that you do. Do you still experiment, or you're happy with your?
I'm happy with that. There's like a new product that I am going to try to make this week. It's like a puck type dish soap.
Oh,
But it's a very similar recipe to the one for the bar soap.
Yeah.
So
That's cool. So would you say you're not the kind of person who, I'm the kind of person who, like, once I get a routine down, I very quickly get bored of the routine and have to do something completely different? You're
Well,
not
that's
that.
why I make other things.
Okay. You would consider yourself a maker, wouldn't you? You make
Yeah.
a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you knit,
Crochet.
crochet. Thank you.
I loom knit, but yeah, I don't know how to
Proper
knit
knit.
with the actual needles.
It hurts my
no.
hands knitting. I like crochet better.
I find it easier. I have actually never tried knitting, but it sounds like too, I don't know. Sounds like more work because you have to count
Yeah.
more, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I have to count a bit with this, but it's not that different. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's, just I haven't tried that before.
What is that you're making?
A snake.
Ah, how long is it going to be?
I'm not too sure. I haven't made one before. I just did this.
Yeah.
I started this one yesterday.
Okay, so you crochet,
Yeah.
you make soap.
Yeah.
And other things, not just soap.
No, I make lip balm, deodorant, and bath soaps. And then the other new one this year was the foaming hand soap.
Oh, that's cool. Do you you have to have a special soap dispenser for that?
Yeah. So I'm just trying out the plastic ones.
Okay.
But I would like to go to like glass mason jars, but they're a little more expensive, and I want to see how these ones, if I have a return program, if that works out well.
And then this lavender and rice bag?
Oh, yeah.
What's this for? What do you use this for?
You can use it for like an eye pillow, or I have bigger ones that I like to. My house is cold in my bedroom. My bedroom is poorly insulated, so I'll bring one to bed with me at night, like put it in the microwave.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like those magic
Yeah.
bags.
Yeah.
What do you think it is about creating that you like?
That keeps my mind busy.
So it's therapeutic for you.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
As well as like I find the crochet really therapeutic, but I really like doing the other stuff because there's so many crap you can't pronounce in your soap, and
Yeah.
literally mine has 3 ingredients, and just added herbs and essential oils.
Yeah. So it also feels like you're doing something good for you,
Yeah.
physically and mentally.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you have anything else that you think you got another craft that you want to learn? Like, what's on the next?
Well, I am doing yoga teacher training right now.
How long does it take? How long have you been doing yoga?
Since 2022.
Okay,
So not really that long.
that's pretty quick. And you're
Yeah.
already training to be a teacher?
Yeah, so I had an injury and I kind of hit a block with physiotherapy,
Oh.
and I could only get so far, and then I was really frustrated because I would come home and be in more pain than I was when I had started, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. And my boyfriend's mom is actually a yoga teacher as well, and she was like, yeah, no, we're gonna do this, Colleen. And then just pretty much ever since then, I've started my journey.
And did it help with the injury?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
My doctor actually couldn't believe how much it helped with my injury.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then just hereditary injuries. I do have the beginnings of osteoporosis, and yoga does help with bone density. So it's, I don't know, it's a win-win situation. It's kind of funny because I started my spiritual journey on the other end of the spectrum, and a lot of people will start with yoga. And I've started with like just some healing modalities, and then I came to realize that yoga is very helpful.
Yeah. But like, it's because when, everybody's into yoga, and so you sort of think, well, if everyone's doing it, then it's probably not that good.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what my thoughts were. I was like, I don't need that. Like, I had a lot of people who were like, Colleen, did you want to do this? And I was like, absolutely not. And again, it was just, it came to me when I had an injury, and then I was like, oh, this is...
So what did you start with? You said your mental health journey started with some healing modalities.
Yeah. So I came to a block also with... I know some people need to take medication and some people think that it's bad. But again, if you have a chemical imbalance, sometimes like that it's not the only option, but like that is one of the tools in your toolbox that you need to help yourself. And that can only help you so far. And so, yeah, I came to a block with that as well. And
so like you were taking meds.
I was taking meds.
And they worked for a little while and then they stopped working?
I think they were working, but then I wasn't doing anything to help myself otherwise.
Right.
And I just ended up in the hospital, and I was just, that kind of stuck. Just like, I guess that this medication is the only answer. And if that doesn't work, then I don't know what I'm doing.
Which is kind of the way that mainstream medicine talks about it, right?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you've got mental health problems, let's give you some meds and see if it fixes it. But really, meds are sort of like to help you not be in agony until you figure out other ways to fix it.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah. I think sometimes, like, for me personally, I need to be on medication long term. Again, that's not for everybody, and if you want to argue with me, that's fine. But yeah, just for me personally, having that as well as these other things implemented in my life, like as a package kind of deal, like it works like with everything. It's not I take this pill and then this helps me with everything all the day. Like I still have to, do my mindfulness practices and things like that. Yeah. So it's, again, not the end all.
How long have you struggled with mental health stuff?
So I will be 42 in May, and I have struggled with mental health stuff since I was like 14 or 15.
So pretty early.
Yeah.
When did you start to realize that there was something not quite the same about you from other people?
About then, maybe a little earlier. Like I was always kind of... I was always kind of quiet, and then I would observe kind of what was going on. But then I was like, had a lot of hyperactivity as well. So like it was kind of like a weird imbalance.
And did anybody help you? Did anybody recognize that you needed help?
Like when I was at school, like I think like they're like, oh, maybe something's wrong with her. And I remember I did like some kind of maybe academic testing to see that if I wasn't able to like process the information the same way, like if I was a slower learner, but that necessarily wasn't the case.
Yeah.
So I think like in the just going back to that time, there wasn't really, mental health wasn't recognized or talked about or
and when it was, it's
diagnosed.
in a real insulty way.
Correct. Yeah.
And then it must have just gotten worse and worse and worse and worse until like a rock bottomy kind of...
Yeah, like there were some things. It wasn't all at once, but then probably when I was 30, then just a relationship ended and just things were not going, as society would think normal 30-year-old. Like, I didn't have the best job. I was single, childless, still childless. But
the definition of failure as our society defines it.
Yeah. So like it was kind of hard like that way. But then I've always kind of been like a bit of a spiritual person, and then that became more prominent when the block with the mental health, when I can only get so far with those guys.
When did you start like seeking treatment and therapy, and like when did you start actively trying to, it takes a while to figure out that there's something not quite right about you, and then when do you figure out, well, this is what I can do, or this is...
Like probably in my 30s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like earlier, like I wasn't doing the things to like help myself. And still kind of, oh well, maybe alcohol would help me feel better.
Yeah.
And just like not anything like super destructive, but just like trying to fill that void with those types of things.
Yeah. Well, it's really just kind of like alcohol makes you can hide from the pain.
Yeah.
Which is great for a little while. It's nice to have a way to hide from the pain, but it sure doesn't fix the pain.
You got that.
So in your 30s, so you were hospitalized a few times. Was that in your 30s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first time I was hospitalized was 2016, so I was 32, and then I think that I was maybe hospitalized once or twice that year. Once for sure. It's kind of, I think twice twice. It's hard to kind of remember sometimes, and then in 2019 I was hospitalized like 8 or 9 times, and I haven't been back since. So yeah, that's quite a feat. But I think the hospital is good and bad. Like it's a good place, like if you need a safe space, but that's about all they'll provide there.
Yeah. So there's no treatment program?
There is, but it's so broad that they just kind of make sure that, like, they are offering something. They do like kind of their version of a dialectical behavior therapy, life skills kind of class in the daytime, and then like you do talk to your doctor every day, but his concern is your medication working and are you suicidal?
Right.
So
it's not therapy.
No.
That's weird. That you'd think in a facility like that they'd have a
like there is
better program.
People to talk to. Like, don't get me wrong, but it's not as you would like to think it. Like, the nurses are busy. They do have 5, 6, 7 other patients to deal with. They do have a few minutes to talk to you each day, not as much as you would like to. And again, they have other patients. They have to make sure they're getting their medications on time, and if they have any special needs as well. They also have, it is what it is, but they do have some people, and it is a mental health thing, that are kind of more in addiction treatment program, and then they're mixed in with the mental health patients. But again, that addiction is mental health. Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it? Gabor Mate. He worked in Vancouver, and he said 100% of the people who are addicted to drugs it's medication, like they're self-medicating.
What? Yeah.
Yeah. So of course it's a mental health thing.
Yeah. And the only reason I say that is because I feel that sometimes like the focus is different. If it's just a mental health issue and it's not an addiction issue, like there is like a huge difference between those two, and just kind of mixing them together and then having all of the group therapy like the same and generalized. I just think that, again, it is what it is. We get what we get with our healthcare system, but I just think it would be a little better structured if there was like the separation of those two.
Yeah. Would you say, like, did you get a chance to meet the other people who were in there?
Oh, yeah.
Were most of them in there because of addiction?
I would say it's about half and half.
Okay.
Yeah. And, like, they're, again, don't get me wrong, they're nice. I've met some of the nicest people when I was in there. They're all sweethearts, and we're all in there for the same reason. We all need to get help. And so, at the end of the day, and I find that, to be honest, you get more therapy from the other patients than you do from the staff there. And also the staff are wonderful, but they're just overworked.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's a lot of them. A lot of the nurses there are they work 12-hour shifts,
Yeah.
and it's a lot. And I could imagine my boyfriend just works 12-hour shift work at a manufacturing plant, and he comes home and he's dead tired, and he doesn't have to talk to X number of people all day and try to
Yeah.
figure out their problems. So I could just only imagine the stress on their
Yeah,
daily
it's
lives.
not. It doesn't seem like a sustainable model, does it?
No.
So I was thinking maybe when you were in the hospital they would have given you some tools for your toolkit, but no. not really.
They do try to set you up, again, with everything. So the one resource that I did find super helpful was they had like group things with the Mental Wellness Center on Christina Street in Sarnia. And that was great. They do have, it's just more like daily activities you can do with like other people kind of the same mindset. They have like games and crafts, and then you could make like lunch, or they do have like life skills groups and things like that. The only downfall to the center, it's only open from 10 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon, Monday to Thursday. So outside of those parameters, and if the wait at the CHMA for the DBT program sometimes can be a bit long, but it is worth the wait.
Yeah.
While you're waiting at the for your DBT program, they do hook you up with somebody, and if you do need to talk to them, that's they do offer that kind of support. But yeah, it's not like as like intensive as you would like it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me about your toolkit. What are the things in your toolkit?
Well, crochet is a huge one for me.
Yeah.
I find with that I can just go off mindlessly and just this is like silly, but I find I really need to break up the day a lot.
Okay.
I need a nap in the middle of the day.
No
I
shade
do-
on the napping. That
So I
sounds great.
do, like, you can just like conquer the day half at a time. So you get your stuff done in the morning, then just have like a quick reset. Maybe even if your day isn't going in the best in the morning, you can at least have that reset. So maybe you could do better in the afternoon. I do like, my cat is huge. And since I've integrated yoga in my life, like that's been amazing. I get Reiki treatments once a month, and I go to counseling. So, like it isn't, it is still like a process. Like it's not, oh, okay, well, I'm better now than, yeah.
So have you kind of come to a place of acceptance where it will always be hard? And that's the reality, and you're okay with it? Or do you still have a dream that
I don't
it
think
will go away one day and you'll be like normal people?
I don't think that it'll always be hard. I think that, if you just work with what you have, and then you get used to putting those things in place that don't put you in like a negative mindset, I think that that's super helpful. Being in nature is super, super helpful. So, Erin, we're going to do, one of the things that kind of got me out of my funk was access bars. And we're going to try a treatment on you later on today.
Cool, yeah. I'd like to do
Pretty soon, actually.
Okay, so explain what it is.
So
I Googled it, but I'm still a little bit like,
yeah. So there's like, in this healing modality, there's 32 touch points on your head, and they store emotions, feelings, and memories from this lifetime and past lifetimes, from things that are like blocking you. And it's just like a gentle energy release. And then how the energy releases in this healing modality is a little different than, like, let's say Reiki, for example. So your yawning releases your negative energy, and laughter also releases your negative energy. And when you cry, it holds on to emotions. So it's not, for this one in particular, it's not good to cry, but yeah, at the end of the day, you'll feel lighter. It does take a full 2 weeks from the time we start our hour appointment, to get the full effects. And yeah, I just remind you with any energy work to be careful if any, like, just be mindful if any emotions come up, and make sure to drink a lot of water. Water, like, we're like 80% water, and it's just a way just to what's the word I'm looking for? Just like kind of cleanse your system. We can continue this after if you want.
Yeah,
okay.
Sure. Dude. Okay, so
So we just had a access bar session.
yeah.
I think there was like definitely a lot of release there. So like I'm interested to see how you feel after.
I feel just right now I feel just a little bit like out of it. Like
Yeah.
when I look at things, it's like my eyes don't see it quite the same. And I'm shaking. I got the shivers.
You got this. Well, just make sure you drink water, take care of yourself for the next
Yeah.
couple days.
Oh yeah, I'll be fine.
And if you need me, I'm like a text away. So we're good.
So how long ago did you learn this access bars
In
thing?
2020.
Okay.
COVID.
Oh, so you knew that for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's all my certifications back there.
Where did you learn about it?
There was the same girl that I had kind of mentioned earlier, that does the, like that. It's called the School of Magic.
Okay.
Have you heard of it?
No.
But no, okay, so I don't know. I just know what it's called, and then she does like unlearning, like the same idea that you do with your children, and then teaches them useful skills like plants and how to cook and things like that. Just like things that kids don't learn in school that they should learn
real
in
world
school.
life.
Yeah,
stuff.
so she actually had a place in Sarnia called Spirit Academy, and then I don't even know how I got connected with her, but then she was like, yeah, I do this, and I was like, cool. And again, at that point, like, I was in the hospital like 8 times that year, and then I had went to her, and then we did sessions like every 2 to 3 weeks for maybe 6 months.
Oh, wow.
And then it just kind of got me out of it. And then I'm also the type of person, I'm like, that was cool, how can I use that to help other people? And then so that's where I'm at right now. Yeah.
You just made me think about, like, one of the most frustrating things I find about dealing with mental health is that it's expensive.
Oh.
So many of the things that are effective are not covered by benefits or OHIP, and so you have to pay for it out of your pocket. And the stuff that is free is not really the most holistic way to deal with mental health problems.
No, yeah, you're right. Because, like, again, we'll go back to what we were saying earlier with, like, the hospital, the CHMA, and even the mental wellness center. They just have to, a lot of them are government funded, and then they have to fit in that box of things. Okay, well, we offer this for the clients, we can offer this, and hopefully that'll be enough to help this big umbrella of things. But yeah, it's not. And it's ridiculous. If you want to go to counseling for an hour, like, they start at $100 an hour. Like, nobody has that.
Yeah. And, like, I have benefits, but they cover only a psychiatrist, not a psychotherapist. And really what I need is a psychotherapist. I don't need a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
I had a friend who was doing a PhD in psychiatry, and she was complaining about exactly that. The people with the most education, who are most equipped to help people with the biggest problems, the people with the biggest problems are almost always poor and cannot afford the people who are qualified to help them with their problems.
So, like, eventually my goal is to, like, even with the yoga, when I'm done my 200 hours in June, I just kind of want to even have that more accessible to people. And I know if you think like, oh, okay, $15 or $20 isn't a lot to really spend on a yoga session, but if people don't have those funds available, they're deciding, oh, cool, well, do I want to go to this yoga group for $15 or $20, or do I want to have dinner tonight?
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be that way. Like, these things are great tools that people, once that they do, like yoga, for example, once they learn that on, go to a couple group classes and get familiar with that, they can take that skill on their own. But a lot of people won't take that first step to go there.
Yeah.
Because of the financial.
Yeah, it feels like a luxury, and when you're poor, you can't afford luxuries.
Yeah. So I'm grateful enough. I have a disability, and I'm not on ODSP anymore, but I applied for the Canada Disability Benefit, and I approved for that, and I'm using that to pay for my yoga teacher training, or else I literally wouldn't be able to afford that right now. So you
That's
just,
great.
because when I applied for it and then they approved me, I was like, oh, cool. And then the yoga teacher training came up at the same time, and I was like, that's interesting, because I do have to pay $100 a month out of my own pocket, but that's a little more reasonable than $300.
Yeah.
And I was like, that money, I don't have it allocated for anything right now. I'm not missing it if I'm doing something else. And then I just thought that, yeah.
And it's both an investment in your future and an investment in your health.
Correct.
So it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so it was a no-brainer when I was like, oh, this is great. And then the yoga studio was pretty amazing when I asked them if I can do $300 payments over the course of the time. And so, like, again, it's a win-win for them too, because then they got another student with them, and then I got to pay something that was easy for me to access.
Yeah. Have you started thinking ahead about, like, being a yoga, what would you call yourself, a teacher?
Yeah, yoga teacher. Okay. Like, the only thing that I kind of have, what we were talking about before, is I just wanted to have, like, smaller class sizes, like 4 to 6, and then just have maybe half of my classes at a lower cost for people to make that more accessible for them.
Yeah.
I know that there's people, like, in town here that have, like, 1 day a week or, like, 1 day a month sometimes, where they offer a community class, but sometimes, like, I don't think that's enough. And it's usually, like, on a Sunday. Like, why can't it be on, like, a Wednesday afternoon or a Tuesday evening, or, you know, sometimes that's not accessible for everybody. And not to disregard them, I think that that is amazing that other places are offering that as well.
What do you think it is about, what do you think is the biggest thing that people just don't get about the struggle with mental health, and like the way the system handles it? And
well, not just the way the system handles it. Sometimes, like, I even get stuck. You get in, like, a thought pattern, and it's hard to get out of it.
Yeah.
And then you get stuck, and then you, like, you can have everything you want in the world, or that you think you want and need. You have a car, you have a lovely boyfriend, you have beautiful children, you have a great job, but, you know, sometimes at the end of the day, for whatever reason in your mind, that isn't enough. And the person that's struggling, they don't know why that's not enough. they wish that they could snap out of it.
Yeah.
And they can't. And I think like that is the biggest struggle.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is when people are like, oh, well, why didn't you reach out to me when you were struggling? Asking to go out for a coffee, asking to hang out or just meet up, that is people reaching out without them saying, hey, I really need help.
Yeah.
But even just remembering that connection and try not to like disregard, oh, okay, well, Jen asked me to hang out. Okay, well, I wonder if she's doing okay. Maybe I should make time for that person.
Mm-hmm. This is something my boyfriend's pointed out, that I have, most of the people that I spend time with are all damaged. and the theory that I'm working on is that I know that if someone drops off the face of the earth, that they're probably struggling, and I'll reach out to them. Whereas I find that people who aren't damaged, they don't know that.
Right.
The people who are just healthy, they don't know. If they haven't heard from me in 2 months, it's probably because I'm struggling and they should reach out to me. They're just going on with their day. And so I end up cultivating the relationships with the people that I know need me because I recognize a person who's struggling. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you think that you collect damaged people?
Yeah. I think like I do. I think a lot of people I do hang out with are quote unquote damaged, but it's really nice. Like it's like a blessing because we can use or lean on each other and talk about those hard times, and then reflect on the times that, on the things that have helped us through those hard times. And it's nicer to have somebody like that as opposed to somebody that is quote unquote normal and doesn't have those same daily struggles.
Mm-hmm. And they just can't wrap their head around it.
Right.
Yeah. What are you most proud of about your life?
Maybe not about my life, but I like that I like to help people.
What would you say is your best skill?
I don't know if I have it. That's a hard question. Oh, I don't know. Some people, if I say this, they would be like, oh, I don't know, Colleen. But trying to be adaptable.
Okay.
In different situations, just kind of because life is going to throw you curveballs. You're going to run across different people, and just because you don't gel with that person doesn't mean they're not teaching you a lesson.
That's a good one.
But yeah, just trying to be, because you don't, like, you came from, I don't know, like, everybody comes from a different background, so it's just kind of, just working in any community, in any place, you're going to come across people that you wouldn't necessarily hang out with on a regular basis, but now you have to work with this person every day. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but then you just learn how do you talk to them, and how is their life different from yours, or how are you going to make them smile today?
How do you make them smile today? That's a good sort of thing to aim for.
Well, I work with this, and I'm not going to say any names, and if I'm not going to say where I work, if you know, you know. But there's this one lady I work with, and she's a big sweetie, and she struggles a lot, and when I work with her, I'm like, how am I going to make her laugh today? So, and I'm like, even if I'm trying, like, that's fine, and if I don't, like, that's also fine, but yeah, I usually try to make her laugh.
That's a good goal.
Yeah. Sometimes, like I used to work at a grocery store, and sometimes this could happen with a lot of things. I'm just using that one as an example because groceries are a necessity. And then someone can live by themselves, and they need to go get that loaf of bread or the milk or butter or whatever, and you could be the only interaction that you have with them that day, even though you're having a shitty day. Just try to bring a little kindness into their lives. Ask them how they are. Be genuine.
Yeah, if you're the only person they're going to see that day, that puts a bit of responsibility on your shoulders.
You don't have to look at it that way, but you can just look at it as, how would you like to be greeted?
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to be like, oh, how are you? Instead of, how are you doing today? Like, that's a huge...
Yeah, it is a difference.
Yeah.
Would you say you're a very philosophical person? Do you spend much time thinking about like life and the universe and meaning of everything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To some degree. Yeah.
And what do you think? What's the purpose? Why are you here on this earth? What's the...
Oh, I don't know why I'm here right now, but we're all
okay.
here to learn some lessons, and whatever, each of our lessons are different.
You believe in reincarnation?
Not like to the point of like immediately when I die I turn into something else. I think that we do have time to go back to wherever the heck that is that we came from, and then contemplate what we had learned in this lifetime, and then perhaps if we need to learn any more lessons, then come back and learn those lessons.
Okay. So you think you're here to learn something?
To learn something, to help people.
Yeah.
Both the same, both in of the same.
Do you think you will find out what you were here to learn?
Not until the end.
Okay. It's a test, but you don't know what the test is.
Yeah.
So do you believe in a God or a higher power or a...
Yeah, not, I don't, so I grew up in a religious community, and I don't necessarily, there's nothing against the term God. I just really find that, I just don't really like that term. It kind of sticks to, like, I just kind of, it brings it to the church, and where
It has baggage and affiliation.
not everything is like about the church, but again,
Yeah.
if that's what you would like to describe that as, but yeah, just like higher power or source as kind of, or yeah.
Okay,
what I'd like
creator
to.
kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. Is your belief system something that you've developed sort of piece by piece over time, or is it
100%. And I think that there's like, again, growing up like Christian, I think that there isn't anything wrong with it, and I think that there's a lot of really good lessons from that. This is going really deep. I think that all religions are basically like, they have like the same structure and belief system, and so it's just kind of whatever you resonate with.
Yeah. So you said you grew up in a religious community, like a culty kind of community?
No,
okay.
I just went to I was raised Anglican, and then maybe when I was like 12 or 13, we started going to like a Baptist church, just because like my mom wanted me to be involved in the church community. Right. She thought that they were good people, which they are. I don't have anything negative to say about them.
They're a bit more intense though, aren't they? Their religion.
A little bit.
Yeah. And
then, but it was, again, at the church that I grew up in, it was a small Anglican church, and there wasn't anybody in my age group, so we just kind of moved to accommodate the youth services and stuff like that, which I was really grateful for, and I met a lot of wonderful people. Okay. Yeah.
So it shaped you but didn't scar you?
Yeah.
Did scar you maybe a
little bit, but yeah, just, I find that the worst thing about organized religion is that they tend to think in a box, and then anything outside that box is like, oh, I don't know about that. That's like way wrong. And life isn't like that. Yeah. And again, not all people are like that, but the majority I have encountered are. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a very, well, I mean, it's kind of all built on what is right and what is wrong.
Yeah.
So.
But what is right and what is wrong that was outlined in the Bible is a lot different than what is right and what is wrong in 2026. So, yeah.
Well, and also a lot of the things that the church think are wrong aren't even in the Bible.
Correct. Yeah.
Do you explore your spirituality? Do you have any, like, you're interested in tarot cards and that sort of thing?
Yeah. I don't think that I fit into any sort of like box per se. I am like, yeah, spiritual, but there isn't really a category. Like there,
Okay.
I don't know. You could probably find a category, but yeah, it's just not.
Yeah.
Just little bits from here and there, I think, gathered along the way.
Yeah. And you're still always gathering more?
Yep. Yep.
So how do you think tarot works?
Oh,
Like, do you think about why it works, or the science behind things, or the explanation of things?
well, okay, so tarot is kind of like a little bit more of a set of rules with your cards. So I do like them, but I like the oracle cards better.
Okay.
I find that, so anybody can, there doesn't, with the tarot, there's like 78 cards, and there's 4 different suits, and the major arcana and the minor. And again, with the oracle cards, it's just kind of what the artist wanted to depict in the cards and what messages they wanted to come across. Those ones are kind of more, I find, I really like the uniqueness of them all. And then you can kind of, even with the oracle cards, kind of find something specific to help you in that situation, or if there's a theme that you kind of like fairies, trees, etc., and then that you can get your guidance from there. I just think they're like a tool. I like to use them like in my sessions, just kind of as a confirmation, like at the end, because like I don't know I didn't pick the card, and it is kind of random, but like in a sense it is and it isn't, because like if you grab a specific deck, you're gonna get one of however many cards, and there's only so many that you can get, and so it is limited to those. But whatever it kind of calls to you, and what you see from that card and what you see from the picture is what you take from it.
Okay. So it's sort of tapping into your subconscious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the higher power collective, or whatever you want to call that. Or it's just kind of more of a sometimes like it's a confirmation. Sometimes you can use it like as a like, I don't know, if you're stuck and you just need like guidance of some kind, and you're willing and open to receive that type of guidance, is good for that. Yeah, just sometimes like if you're stuck in your head in like a depressive episode, if you can grab a deck and then just go into see what you see in the picture, or like what calls to you, and just try to get out of that mindset a little bit. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't help, but again, just with those little tools that we do have to try to bring ourselves back to reality.
And then you also believe in crystals and energy, and you do Reiki.
Yeah.
Do you think that the energy of the whole world right now is affecting your health? Do you think that's part of it? Do you ever wonder if that's part of it?
Yeah. So I guess steal some words from Aaron here. I guess that I'm fortunate and lucky enough just to not engage with those things.
Okay.
I try not to. Yes, I do know what's going on. I think that... What was the question?
The energy of the whole world. Do you think that it has a negative effect on your health?
I think that it has a negative effect on everybody's health.
Yeah.
And anybody right now that is like awake to anything that's going on, just like in the know, I think that it is definitely affecting. Where it's, I don't know, it's a lot of crazy stuff that's going on. And I try not to dwell on that too much, because unfortunately we can just do what's best for us, and then engaging in those things, I think that that is beyond our capacity.
Do you think, though, it's possible to check out of it, or do you think it's just in the air and in everybody around you?
Oh, I don't think that it's possible to check out at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be that naive. You can, like, but there is a lot of tension in the air. Just what yesterday
The U.S. and Israel attacked Iran.
and then the Iran guy got killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like that's fucking insane. It makes me nervous because I can literally look out of my window and
see
the
America.
United States is right there. But I can't. Yeah, those things do affect me, but I can't sit there and dwell on them.
Yeah, you don't want to swim in it.
No.
What do you do to keep it from drowning you?
I go back to things like yoga. I go back crochet.
Yeah. Stay off the internet.
Stay off the internet. I watch Bob's Burgers.
Excellent.
Yeah, but you do need those things that brings you back, because as much as I say you can try to turn those things off, but they're going to be there, and even if you don't have an opinion of, try not to have an opinion of what's going on, or just it is what it is. That's everything's going to affect everybody, and it's just really hard. The world is in an absolute crazy place.
If you were suddenly given like superpowers and you could wave a magic wand and change something, anything, what do you think you could do to make it better?
Get rid of that orange man. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah.
So I'll just go with that.
Yeah.
Actually, that is the first thing that came to my mind, but I don't think that that's the problem.
No.
He's just a puppet.
Yeah,
and
he's a
same
symptom.
with everything else.
Yeah.
Just maybe even try to, what I would is make people aware of what's going on. There literally should be riots in the streets right now, and I don't know why there isn't.
Yeah, people should be angry.
Literally,
and active.
So yeah, that's, yeah, and I don't want a war, and I don't want us to fight, and I don't want people to die, but I just want, it's hard for people to accept the reality, and yeah.
Do you think, how much of a role does tech, internet, social media play in both what's wrong and why people won't do anything about it?
Oh, yeah. Well, they just get too sucked in on their phones, and
Yeah.
all they can do is just be a zombie and look what's going on, and then just keep scrolling.
Yeah.
I don't think, like, even being on your phone, like, yeah, I don't know. It's, I think that in order to even try to get things on back of how they were even like 10 or 15 years ago, we need to stop being reliant on our phones, stop doom scrolling, take an hour a day to go outside. I don't know, but just what we're doing isn't working, and no, that's all.
Have you got much of a community?
What do you...
Like real people that you see in real life on a regular basis?
I have a couple really close friends that I do see. There's like, I don't think like you need a lot, but like if you have a couple people you can depend on, and then I think that's okay.
Do you find the city gets to you, like energy-wise?
Oh yeah, well I working with the public, like come home and I need to decompress for like an hour,
Yeah.
an hour and a half each day.
Yeah.
So like, and I find the same, like if I go out, like I don't like going out at certain times of the day if it's too busy, like absolutely will I, unless it's like need something for dinner, will I not go to the grocery store between 3 and 6
Yeah.
p.m. Like that's bananas. Yeah.
Yeah. It got to me. That's why I had to move to the country. The city got to me. The energy of all the vehicles and the people and the stress. Everybody's so angry in the city.
Yeah. You lived in London?
Yeah.
London, I think, has a little different bit of a vibe. Now, Sarnia isn't much better, but the people that I deal with on a regular basis, like walking out and around, like my area, it's like a split. So, like, I have a lot of really nice people, and then there's a lot of drug addicts, which, like, they're nice too. Like, I can say hi to them, but not to have the conversation with them. But I think, like, you do have to, just like with tech and stuff, just be mindful of what you're consuming. What type of people are you being around? Are they sucking your energy? Again, working with the public, it's a little different, but yeah, like when I do work, I know I need to come home and be by myself for like an hour.
Yeah.
And I don't work a stressful job. All my coworkers are great. The public I deal with is great. It's just the camaraderie of it all.
Do you find the same with when you go to different markets and things to sell your soaps and stuff? You find it's the same kind of there. Like you need to have a quiet moment
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
Yeah, and yeah, I do. Which I find like with that, like I don't need to sit and like set time aside. I'm kind of lucky when you do markets that you have that however long it takes you to tear down and then pack your car up and no one really bothers you during that.
Right.
So like when I'm doing markets, I do find that is a great time for my decompressing, like right after.
Yeah. You like doing the markets?
Yeah, I do. I haven't, so when I'm well, I don't do well in the heat. And so I haven't been able to do many in the summer because of that.
These migraines?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Is it heat, humidity, sun?
Yeah, all the things.
All of the above. So do you hide in air conditioning when migraine season arrives?
Yeah. Well, I got a little better, but I think my migraines, right around when I met you, I was having really, really bad migraines.
Yeah.
And I've since then, since like 2023, I have been getting nerve block injections from the doctor, and that's been literally life-changing.
Oh,
so.
wow. But do you know what causes the migraines then?
So mine are caused by the barometric pressure.
Okay.
And there really isn't anything they can do.
Those ones, I get some of those, like when a storm's coming, and those ones are the most frustrating, because there's nothing I can do. At one point I had a house that had a basement with air conditioning, and that sort of relieved it. But yeah, when it's the weather, you wait for it to pass.
Yeah, and that's like the past summer, it was so hot. It was kind of unbearable. I just would, and I like being outside, but like if you can't breathe or it's not the best.
Yeah. Do you know why you have such bad mental health? I'm not asking you to necessarily tell me why, but you don't know why it is that your mental health is such a struggle?
No, I have no idea, but in the research that I have done, there's a correlation with major depressive disorder and migraines. And they affect the same part of the brain, and as well as if you take a medication for migraines, it also may help with your mental health.
So it's not some horrible childhood traumatic experience. It's just something you're born with.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's so
I
frustrating.
know, I wish. No, I'm just joking.
I wish I had someone to blame.
Yeah, like I was talking to somebody else. So actually the lady that is doing my yoga teacher training, she has like a CFS leak. Like her brain fluid
Oh.
So she has had a headache for like over a year. Like, but, and I'm not saying like it's bad, but it's not a migraine, but it is a headache.
Yeah.
So she can still kind of function.
Yeah.
But like it is still a headache and it is still
Yeah.
chronic pain and it is awful. But, sorry, what was that?
About someone to blame, if you have someone to blame.
Just the only thing, there's no one to blame, but it's nice when you do meet somebody that maybe has the same stuff going on as you, and then you can relate. That's the only thing that kind of makes me feel better or helps me out.
You're like, as much as I'm a weirdo, I'm normal for weirdos.
I didn't know you suffered from migraines.
Yeah. I once even had something called a hemiplegic migraine. Have you ever heard of those? It mimics the symptoms of a stroke. So I started having like black spots in my vision. Like I would look at people's faces and there was like a black hole in their face. I was in the grocery store and I picked up a can and I couldn't read the label. There was like a black hole in the label.
I get like spots like that but I'm not...
I've had spots like that before.
But I'm usually like, and that's usually when I've had a bad migraine. I'm like laying down but not.
Those are technically those are called auras.
Yeah.
Like, I always thought aura was like a shimmery thing around, but no, that's one of the auras.
Yeah, those are awful. I don't wish upon migraines upon anyone.
No.
But just like, the only thing that I can find that does help me is when somebody has a migraine, they're like, oh, what do you do?
Yeah,
and then if I list off
advice.
all the things, that maybe something will be helpful for them.
Yeah.
And I think like that's just like with migraines, like it's comparable to like mental health, because you get more help from somebody with the same symptom as you than somebody that doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So it's just if there's more of us that can come together and then say, oh no, this is okay, like this really fucking sucks, but this is normal, so.
Yeah. Okay, I guess we can wrap it up there. Thank you, Colleen.
Yeah, no worries.
You got lots of your snake done while we were talking.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was my conversation with Colleen, interrupted part way through for Access the Bar's healing treatment, where basically she just pressed on my head in different spots for sometimes up to 5 minutes on a spot, and sometimes just for a few seconds. It's been a week since I had the treatment, and I would say that my mood has been much more level than usual up and downs. I don't know. She says it can take up to 2 weeks for you to start to notice a difference after one of those treatments. So I don't know. It's always hard to tell about things like this. But, if I'm not having quite as many ups and downs, I guess it's a good thing. So my conversation with Colleen was good. I found it really... I always like talking to people who have mental health struggles. I've always sort of found it a little bit comforting to know that, because it's easy to compare yourself to just normal people. And when you're comparing yourself to normal people, you're sort of like, why am I struggling so much with this? Why is this so much harder for me? Why am I failing so much? And then as soon as you start comparing yourself to people who have the same similar obstacles to you, then suddenly you sort of feel like, well, no, I'm not that bad. Actually, I'm pretty normal for an unusual person. Once I'm comparing myself to the right people, then I'm not so abnormal. So I do always like talking to people who struggle with their mental health, because they just sort of see the struggles in a more compassionate light than people who've never had to struggle with that sort of thing. It was interesting interviewing Colleen. She spent much of the conversation actually with her eyes closed while crocheting. And I'm not sure if that was a sign of her discomfort over being interviewed and the fact that she was doing it anyways. In fact, she volunteered to me. I didn't even ask her. She volunteered. So I don't know if that was sort of how she coped with the discomfort of the situation, keeping her eyes closed and keeping her hands busy, or if that was more of a sign of focus, that she was sort of like looking for the answers inside of herself and trying to cut off distractions. I guess that's a question I should have asked her. I could now, I suppose. Another question I didn't ask her during the interview that I did afterwards was I never asked her what her actual diagnosis is. So she was diagnosed with major depressive disorder when she was in her teens, and when she was 30, she was diagnosed with something called borderline personality disorder. And I actually have a fair amount of experience with borderline personality disorder. I have a friend who's been diagnosed with that, and it's probably what the issue with my brother was. And so I have a lot of compassion for, I think probably borderline personality disorder is one of the hardest mental health diagnoses to integrate into a normal life. I think it's one of those things that really undermines you a lot, which is a very frustrating condition to have when you undermine yourself, because then from the outside, people just sort of think, well, you just ruined your own life. You did that to yourself. But people don't see the war that's being waged inside your own mind. So I have a lot of compassion for that. It's a really hard thing to deal with. I do also really admire this generation for how much we have fought to normalize mental health problems. And I know some people think that talking about it makes it worse. And maybe there is an element to that, because it really depends on the conversation. Because I find some people, the conversation is, well, I have anxiety, so I can't do that. And if that's the conversation, then yeah, that is definitely making things worse. But that's not. The people I know, the people I've experienced, they don't simplify it like that. They say more, this is why it's harder for me than it is for other people. So I am going to be kind to myself when I seem to be struggling so much more than I should with this thing. I'm going to be patient with myself. I'm going to be compassionate with myself, and I'm not going to beat myself up if I don't get this right away. And if that's the way that you're looking at it, then yeah, I think it is really helpful. And like I said before, it's really, when you're comparing yourself to normal people, it is easy to say, what's wrong with me? Why am I such a failure? Why can't I get this right? But once you sort of know, like a lot of people will argue, oh, well, these mental health diagnoses, they don't do you any good. They just make you feel different. I already felt different. Having a name to it allowed me to find my tribe and realize that I actually am not that different. As long as I'm comparing myself to the people who are like me, then I don't feel like I'm so dysfunctional and that there's something wrong with me. I just know that I have this particular uniqueness, and within that uniqueness, there are lots of things that I am capable of doing, as long as I don't compare myself to normal people. So this whole idea of like, it's not good to put people in a box, the box doesn't need to be confining. That's it, I guess. Some people think that once you put a certain person in a box, it limits them. But for me, it's more that it helps me understand why I'm not normal. I don't know if I explained that well or not. But I am really proud of a whole generation of people who have been open and not ashamed of their mental health struggles, because shame is what kicks your ass. If you have shame over it, you can never recover. You can never build a good, healthy life. You just think you're a worthless piece of garbage that shouldn't even be on this earth. That doesn't do anyone any good. So I really love that there are so many people who are talking about these things in order to dispel the shame that goes around it. I think that's it for today's podcast. I'm really glad you joined me. I'm really glad Colleen volunteered to be interviewed for my podcast. And I look forward to seeing you all next week. Take care.